Angeles with the LAPD behind it, but they had actually let go of the pursuit because the guy was driving quite recklessly. But the airship actually kept an eye on him for officer safety reasons, and that is when the LA County Sheriff's Department started chasing. But just a few minutes ago here, he jumped on the 91 West, so that's going to bring
that is a white Dodge Charger, and that is the sweet, sweet sounds of Eliana Moreno. News Chopper 4.
This month in August from the LAPD's Wilshire division. So that's roughly the mid-city area of the city. And
what's up, everybody?
People may be in the car. This is, of course, a Kia Soul. So
no, it's not. It's a white Dodge. Eliana, you know better than that.
People, and we did hear that there were possibly multiple occupants inside of the car.
Eliana, you know, you bring up that it's a Kia Soul, and we know that Kia Souls...
We know that these particular Dodge Chargers have been in the news a lot lately, and we have another one. Yet again, we know how easy it is to steal one of these, and we have a stolen car.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen a number of Kia Soul pursuits here in the last few months. They've become one of the most stolen cars, and as you said, there's all sorts of social media challenges about how you can take one of these vehicles, and apparently it's quite easy to do, which is why we've seen so many pursuits involving these types of vehicles.
They're on TikTok. These are so easy to steal. People just go on TikTok and they steal them so that they can add to the trend. It's so easy to just replicate a key with a USB cord. Eliana Moreno in the air, News Chopper 4. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go chasing 405 northbound. Just re-wrecked on us.
You bring up that it's a Kia Soul, and we know that Kia Souls have been one of those vehicles that has been...
And it just knocked us back 30... Oh, no, there we go.
Okay. He doesn't want to wait behind any of these slow-moving vehicles, so he's using that emergency lane to get by, which is always a concern.
Just on my way out to go play tennis. Of course I was. And a chase happens. Been around all day waiting for a chase. And it just happens 15 minutes before I'm supposed to walk out the door. Now I got to figure out how to...
That is what's really so concerning about this.
And we're doing high rates of speed. This doesn't look like a chase that's ending anytime soon, as we're doing 65 miles an hour here in gridlock Friday rush hour traffic on the 405 northbound, coming out of Harbor Gateway headed towards LAX.
Pretty recklessly, and we know that police officers stopped following him. But now, at what point, and what would be protocol as far as, like, he's driving this recklessly right now on the highway? Would officers continue to follow his vehicle?
So what they can do, Annabelle, is just continue this surveillance mode, which is, again, a helicopter only. And the reason they do that is that they think that maybe if this person doesn't see any patrol units behind him, maybe he'll drive a little bit more calmly, and eventually, hopefully, just
kicking up some smoke there.
A friend's house, or even just drive into a parking structure, just something that will get him off the road, and then they can try to swoop in at that point with officers and take him into custody. At this point, just from what I've been able to gather in the 5 minutes or so that we've been overhead, it doesn't seem to be working, because again, there's no units behind him, and look at these incredible speeds that he is
told my tennis partner, gonna have to delay unless this...
As you look at this, I wonder if there is something wrong with the vehicle. It seems to be rattling a little bit. Saw some smoke coming out of the
locked in.
Right tire. So don't know if this vehicle will soon be disabled. But again, we are looking at the one being a stolen vehicle as it travels now on the 405 north.
Stolen white Dodge Charger. Once again, those of you just joining us, we're coming out of the Torrance area, 405 northbound. We got pretty significant traffic as it is almost 5 o'clock here on a Friday.
Maybe armed at this point.
Yeah, at this point it's unclear because it's also unknown how was this vehicle taken. Was it in some sort of armed carjacking, or was it simply a crime of opportunity where perhaps the rightful owner left the vehicle's keys inside and somebody...
Once again, if you've seen the trend with these Dodge Chargers, how easy it is to just get in there and steal it. All you really need is an open door, and people have figured out how to turn these things on right away as we side draft there into the shoulder, 3-star chase.
But from what we were able to gather on the scanner, this vehicle was taken earlier this
Yep, just pretty much a USB. We'll get you going in one of these. It's that easy.
And when LAPD officers spotted the vehicle earlier today at about 3 o'clock or so, it was in South LA. Again, it was LAPD who first gave chase, but they let it go because of dangerous maneuvers like what you're seeing here. But the LA County Sheriff's Department picked it up after that.
All right, Eliana, we're just going to recap what we know so far. So this is a pursuit. You see this white and soul.
So we went all the way to the shoulder. Now we're getting off the 405, what looks like Sombra Avenue.
Torrance area, South Bay area.
Just north of Torrance. We'll be up in Inglewood.
Spotted this vehicle around 3 p.m.
SoFi Stadium.
They decided to stop
The Forum. We are not stopping. We just definitely made contact right there.
Just exited the 405.
Just did a little paint swapping with that Dodge Charger on the off-ramp. Now we're on Hawthorne Boulevard, of which we have been many, many times. We're running right along the flight restricted airspace with LAX right now.
We're in Lawndale now, and about
That's a solid red light we just went through there at Manhattan Beach Boulevard. Many of you here in Los Angeles have probably been here at some point.
So every now and then we may actually lose the shot.
Darlington Stripe.
And hopefully it's going to be thin enough to where we're going to be able to continue to follow the vehicle. But for now, he's on surface streets here in Lawndale. Hawthorne is the major street here. Again, it is
Come on, Eliana.
Okay, we have temporarily lost our picture there. There it is, back again.
2007 Cavs, LeBron James and
the
teammate is the technology of NBC as we continue on here.
Ileana, obviously he's aware, or she is aware, that there is somebody flying overhead, because they realize that they are being right now in pursuit. The car coming to a stop there looks like
Yeah, we could potentially get Hawthorne PD if they take over. They are no nonsense.
Do you have police helicopters?
Since we're in Hawthorne, they have their own jurisdiction.
the CHP helicopter overhead.
But if CHP very rarely likes to give up chases.
Prior to that, it was LAPD. So whoever is behind the wheel of this storm.
Hawthorne PD does not wait for tracking mode, put it that way. But they are not engaged in this. Oh my God, Eliana.
T-bone here in
Oh, so lucky. Oh my God, so lucky.
Right, so Eliana is tracking this vehicle along with the CHP chopper there. But again, in the South Bay area.
Come on, NBC. God damn it.
Not knowing that there's a pursuit going on.
In a parking lot.
Parking lot,
What?
shopping.
Almost ran over that person with a shopping cart. About to come out the other side here at
We've
Target.
seen little glimpses of it here and there, but perhaps now leaving Lawndale.
Yeah, headed back towards the east here after that very scary close call. After that, he made his way through the Target parking lot. There were
Definitely ejectocito territory into a foot pursuit. Oh God! Every time you see "stop" written down on the asphalt, I'll lose my shit. Eliana, I mean, I'm gonna have to give up on you and go to another channel if NBC doesn't get its shit together.
that gets out of this area, because this is the first time actually that we've seen him in a small residential neighborhood. Prior to this, he was just on major freeways, major surface streets, but now in a small, quiet community here on a Friday afternoon. A lot of people just getting home from work or school, and a lot of people still on summer break as well. So it's a situation where we could see a number of pedestrians out here in the Hawthorne area, but continuing to make his way here through surface streets.
Swear to God, I'm making a call here. I can't trust him.
We've seen him drive so erratically, and also we were able to get a glimpse into that passenger seat. It didn't look like there was a second passenger in there, at least not in the front seat.
Yeah,
oh boy, look at that driving.
Sorry, Eliana. Stay with me, guys. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. I'm getting NBC off the screen. Hold on.
Through Inglewood again, actually Lawndale. He's just off of Rosecrans.
Okay.
On Washington.
Right where we left off.
These are much narrower streets.
Behind him,
The
so
speed
you wouldn't
limit
even
is no
think this
more
is a
than
pursuit. You would just
25
think
to
that this is
30
some sort
miles
of
per hour
crazy.
here. You can see him still driving even more recklessly than before if you consider the variables here. So I would imagine we may
Chris Christie on the call, ABC 7, right where we left off.
Now, again, as far as we can tell, only that helicopter up above, tracking his movements, calling out the location, trying to get the attention of one of these agencies to participate in this pursuit.
Why is this all choppy?
Out of numerous jurisdictions, and everybody has basically declined to participate. They just haven't shown a big interest in getting this guy off the road. So right now, LA County Sheriff has handed the aerial duties off to California Highway Patrol, and their helicopter is monitoring his movements, maybe just to wait for him to come to a stop. And then
God, we haven't stopped at a single stop sign here at all.
what they want to do next. But again, without anybody on the ground there, it's anybody's guess as to whether he's going to get away or not. It's very easy for him to walk away from this pursuit if he just slows down, starts obeying some of the rules, or just parks the car, because really there's nobody around him.
Big intersection. Oh my God, wrong side of the road.
Going on the opposite side of the road.
Oncoming lanes of traffic, yep.
We've seen so many near misses.
Oh,
already that-
big intersection. Better be making a right-hand turn.
It's
Okay,
like
good.
one of those cringeworthy types of pursuits that this guy is just complete disregard for anybody.
Yeah, but where's he going?
don't
I mean,
know.
nobody's pursuing him,
Yeah.
but he is running like they're right on his tail. And they
So I don't think units are engaged in this one.
It's a tough situation for
Driving recklessly, maybe looking for an ejectocito spot. It's a solid stop sign. That's only a two-way stop sign.
Things have really escalated.
Oh, this is so dangerous.
You can see all the red lights that we've run here and all of the stop signs going into oncoming lanes of traffic. It's becoming a more serious situation by the minute here. So we'll have to wait and see if they change their mind.
Look at all those donut marks on the road.
But, if the
I am Gregor D dropping 5 tier 1 subs gifted to the chat. W's in the W's for our friend I am Greg or D.
Nobody in the passenger seat, probably nobody in the back.
Appreciate you,
We don't
Gregor
know
D.
that for sure either. You can see pretty heavily tinted windows. It is a white Kia Soul, just kind of zigzagging through Hawthorne here, trying to. Maybe he's aware of the helicopter, maybe not. Maybe he's tracking this online. That's always a possibility. But other than that, you can see he's doing about 50 miles per hour down Surface Street. So
God, this will not last long if we keep doing 50 miles an hour barreling through stop signs. We just saw it in a chase recently.
It just really.
We just saw it in a chase recently. What happened when your luck runs out and we hit a 720?
Pedestrian, you saw that person in the road that he went.
Why is the stream choppy?
Trying to go around this traffic right here. He's going to fly into the intersection, oncoming traffic.
Oh God,
Boy,
why is the streams choppy?
Imperial Highway, you can see him cutting off that cross traffic. A really wild move right there as he makes.
I'm on display capture, I'm not even on window capture.
Imperial Highway, he's
Fucking OBS, man. Can OBS, one time that they update their goddamn app, it just works for once. Stop updating the app.
No real reason to cut through here. He had Imperial Highway basically to himself, coming around the wrong way through the drive-through.
Through a Mickey D's, that is not a Denny's.
Boulevard now northbound.
Recklessly through a drive-through. Pedestrians all over the sidewalks.
Here again, to your point, David, these all really appear to be last-minute random decisions. And look at him just weaving across these surface streets. He's not getting away from anybody. He's just, creating a hazard for himself and for everybody around him. But there's really no pressure on him. You can't overestimate just how reckless this is and how senseless it is, because there's just nobody that's really a threat to him. Again, unless he's putting on a show for somebody else. If he's
I closed everything down, so the stream should be a little bit better now.
Enjoying tracking himself online, you just don't know what is the mental capacity of this driver.
yeah, we've seen that before. People live streaming.
Now we're in the bike lane. We're still on Hawthorne Boulevard.
From the helicopter's view, seeing he could.
We're going to go through this intersection, aren't we?
And knowing that maybe if he is busted eventually, then he's going to go to jail, but he gets his last hurrah. But either way, it's dangerous for everybody around.
Exactly right. Now making a right turn.
Wrong side of the road, 60 plus miles an hour, and there is oncoming traffic. Oh my God, there's cars coming, flying down Eastwood and Lenox.
Traveling away from LAX.
Oh God, we can't see what's in front of him.
You can see him now speeding, going the wrong
Wrong side of the road, there's
If we widen
nice whiteout shot by Chris Christie here.
But that could change on a dime here. Now coming southbound Prairie. Southbound Prairie off of Lenox, around all of that traffic at 108th Street. Continuing now southbound on Prairie
High stress
Avenue.
chase here, up to 4 stars for the want and the recklessness. Wrong side of the road.
As he approaches the 105 freeway, he's going to come back towards Imperial Highway once again. As you can see him coming back towards us. We are
Yes, the windshield wipers are on, thank God.
Along Prairie Avenue, and you now see the windshield wipers coming on. So what's going on in his head is really an open question mark.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, he's so lucky. How did he get through that? How did he get through that?
Wild right turns. I'm sorry, that was a
That
left turn.
maze.
Left turn there for no reason.
CHP, blue and white helicopter directly overhead. No damage there on the right-hand side. Both wheels intact. That was a police chase nutmeg, Vaughn. Whoever said that in the
We're not
chat.
seeing him because that that turn was protected. So this could...
Look at that beautiful bird right there. CHP hovering right there in the shot. That's California Highway Patrol as we continue to just snake past these cars.
Oncoming lanes there, you see almost a head-on collision there for a second.
Oh my God.
Onto Yukon Avenue going back in the northbound direction. And this is getting scarier by the...
It's another stop sign we're just going through. The red light stop signs don't matter. This luck will run out at some point. We have escaped so many of these without accident until recently.
Just a really close call there. At least the third or fourth close call in the last couple of minutes here. There's a bicyclist about to cross over 111th there. He's continuing northbound Yukon through that red light. Now he's just really not obeying any of the
Stop sign, nobody cares.
Forget about it. He is off.
Another stop sign coming.
He is off on his own here. He's really
Not even being engaged by ground units. Here comes another perpendicular four-way stop.
reckless driving without any law enforcement even posing a threat.
That will get them re-engaged. If he keeps driving like this in tracking mode, they will get back into this fight. Usually they do this to get the person to calm down.
Any units anywhere near there? I mean, I don't see any. So it doesn't look like they're even...
I have a bad feeling we're on the wrong side of restricted airspace.
to take this guy down. So he's just
Yeah.
flat out there all by himself. Look at that.
He's headed to SoFi.
Exactly right. Approaching Century Boulevard there, northbound Yukon through another red light there. Approaching Century, he's right by SoFi Stadium. He's back in the correct lanes of traffic. But you can see this Friday afternoon, all of the pedestrians that we have seen.
I don't know how much time we have left on this camera. If he keeps driving north, we're going to run out of camera zoom from Chris Christie. Hard right turn.
If he decides to get on the freeway, in fact, even on the 405, he wasn't
Back up to Century. Major at least we're coming back towards the helicopter now. Southbound.
Century Boulevard, back southbound, off of Century, back onto Yukon Avenue. If they had units in the area,
I mean, airplanes go directly over here.
That might even be the same target. He might even be. He's in the same target.
No, that's Costco.
Different shopping center. But not far. He's close.
We're not going slow.
Costco shopping center. And if they had units in the area,
I did not have spaghetti with meat sauce, but I was thinking about it. So maybe that counts. Oh, maybe he'll wreck on the curb in a tree.
through the empty packed parking lot, I should say, with lots of people
Absurdly reckless chase here. There is no exit. He's going to have to make a right-hand turn here hard. Oh,
going a circle around this.
he's going over the curb.
Over the curb, jumping the curb, through the bush there, and now back on
For no reason, we went Treroy Jenkins.
Yukon Avenue, guys.
Back on Yukon South.
The way he's driving right now, because nobody's pursuing him, yet he's jumping a curb, going over a bush.
How much longer can this go?
Lots of pedestrians all over the place. It's almost like somebody's riding on his tail, but nobody is there.
And there's no units, so if he gets out, he's going to be able to run for a little bit. We don't see any units around him. If he ejectos, he's going to have plenty of foot pursuit space, a head start.
To try to arrest this guy.
I totally agree. This is a chase they need to engage with. And you're going to have to take out some pedestrians on the street, either pedestrians or people driving. If you're going to pit maneuver, if you're going to pit maneuver a car going this quick, there is going to be collateral damage, but they have to make an assessment when it's the best time to do it. Is this person putting all sorts of people in danger by themselves?
Under the LAPD jurisdiction for a short time, and then they handed it off to the sheriff's department. Sheriff's department helicopter was watching this guy for a while, and eventually they decided, you know what? This is just not worth it. They handed it off to the CHP to watch from above. This has been in surveillance mode this entire time that we have been on the air. This was in pursuit mode at one point.
Citizens arrest definitely in play. If there's no citizens arrest for sure. If we don't see any cops, this is going to be all over the news, if not already. And then people start going out and they start talking about it. If the chase goes long enough, then texts start going around. You get stringers. You get citizens arrest, as we almost wreck right there. Then you get people that want to get involved with the chase and bring them over because the police aren't doing it themselves. If it goes on long enough, which is why the CHP or they might be changing jurisdictions, they might need to do it themselves.
Joyride, you just can't get into the head of some of these guys. You can speculate all you want, but sometimes there really is just no rationale for what we're seeing here.
Chris, it is hard to watch this because
such
so many people
high rates of speed.
This is Giovanna Latta, Eyewitness News 5 at 5.
73.
Still alongside David.
77.
And I've been watching this.
79.
Of this, Chris and David, and wow, this guy.
Intersection, left-hand turns, and we get through that one barely.
But where is he going? And who is he running from? That's what makes it so intriguing.
Viewer discretion advised on this one, no doubt, as we are on the wrong side of the road doing 70 miles an hour in Inglewood, south of SoFi, headed east of SoFi. This is, the good news is we're not going north. The bad news is this is the best angle we're going to get, as he is running parallel to LAX restricted airspace, which is going to run all the way practically downtown.
I mean, that's what this is like. I mean,
Oh my God, wrong side of the road.
55 miles per hour down 108th Street here in South LA. We are in Inglewood, and he is driving like a madman through these very narrow surface streets, coming very close to oncoming traffic here.
Oh my
all
God.
for nothing. I mean, really, there's just no, I can't make any sense out of this, but he must be having the time of his life, because he
is headed towards Downey, actually. All roads lead to Downey. We are headed east. Still have a little while to go till Downey, but if he got on the 105 somehow, we'd be headed to Downey.
At the end of it, say it's remarkable that nobody.
Oh God! Car popped out from the pursuit tree.
Casualties then often happen, but one of these days we're not going to say that this could be it. If this guy continues to drive the way he's driving, flying through
That front left looks a little wobbly, or is that just the humidity?
In the middle of rush hour, the time is limited, and
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
The community surviving this, something tragic's going to happen.
The longer it goes, the risk just increases. And we do have some video of some of the close calls from this pursuit. I don't know if that's ready for us to share with our viewers, but there have been several close calls.
Look at
As
this.
you mentioned, he was running stop signs, just that right there, driving against traffic, weaving in and out of lanes. Do we have that video ready yet? No?
If he's hitting those dips at 70 miles an hour, these Dodge Chargers, the suspension will not.
Catch-22 that law enforcement is faced with here, because the reason they don't continue the pursuit, the reason they pull back and they decide to let some
Get
of
them
these
to
guys
calm
go
down.
is because of the. And then again, the likelihood of somebody getting hurt goes up dramatically. Either way, it is such a dangerous game of cat and mouse that they don't want to play if they don't have to play it. But in a situation like this, sometimes they're left with no choice. And that's what we're seeing here, where you have multiple law enforcement agencies that are looking at this, weighing out the pros and the cons, and trying to figure out, is it worth it? Is it worth it to the pedestrians and the motorists on the road there? Is it worth it to put the department in that liability? Or is it, you know, there's no right or wrong answer sometimes. It's really a judgment call on the part of the supervisors and the watch commanders to decide when to pursue these vehicles and when to pull back. And each agency in the metro area has a different policy, by the way. So these are not easy cut and dry decisions, but you see a driver like this with nobody behind him and the kind of driving that we're seeing, and it becomes a much scarier proposition.
And for people who are just joining us, can you explain why this pursuit, or why it was initiated in the beginning?
He made a U-turn. He's continuing southbound. So, yeah, this all started, I think, in the Compton area, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it may have started a little.
Hey, there's nothing we can do about this, people. He's right in the middle of LAX airspace. They're trying to go around the eastern side of the airspace. Look how far away they are. That's how good the camera lens zoom is.
We're going to try and track him here. We're going around LAX's airspace, so just pardon the wide shot while we try and triangulate here.
It's going to be really hard to follow him without units, though.
Find the suspect as he kind of zigzags through South LA. But started
Pretty sure they didn't lose him. There's other networks on top of it, too. Give me a second. I'm going to... Yeah, you could just follow the CHP helicopter.
And then they decided to pull back. They said, you know what, this is just not worth it. So they decided, even though it's a stolen vehicle,
That's not him.
the driving was safe enough that he wasn't posing a major risk. They just decided it wasn't worth it. And that has changed completely in the last few minutes since we have been on the air. We are watching a much different situation.
Is that the same white Dodge Charger?
Such that if this continues
Yep.
at this pace and at these speeds with this kind of driving, somebody will get hurt. And so they're faced with an impossible decision. Again, he's going the correct way here. It's on a very narrow street here. He's now paralleling the 110 freeway. Maybe look maybe looking for an opportunity to get back on the freeway. But this is one of those situations, guys, where if he's going to do anything right now, we would love to see him end up on the freeway. That would be the best case for everybody because it's just a safer situation. You don't have pedestrians. You don't have so many other variables.
Facts.
Where somebody can, I mean, obviously people can get hurt in any, either way. Now he's under the freeway, under the 110 freeway. We'll see. He's coming out the other side. He's now coming out on the west side. He's westbound. He's going.
I didn't see him come out. Maybe he's stopping under the
Did he not
freeway.
come out? Is he still under?
Not again. Paul Walker challenge.
Oldest trick in the book. Oldest trick in the book. If he decides to dump the vehicle.
Paul Walker challenge again. Or is that him? Is that him getting on, making a U-turn? There he is. Popped out. That's wrong side of the 405.
Going the wrong way. This is a surface street.
Oh, I thought that was the off ramp.
Parallels the 110 freeway. It's a very narrow surface street, and you can see him. He's going to come up on. He's gonna
Running alongside the 110.
There's a few dead ends over here, so if he doesn't know where he's going, he could end up locked into a cul-de-sac or something like that. He's got the window down. He's got.
And look at that. He's got his sun visor blocking the window so no one can see his face.
He might be on the phone.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yes. He's holding it.
That's probably why he hasn't stopped those windshields.
Is there someone else in the driver's seat as well? Or in the passenger seat?
The other one's on his phone, and
You
he's
might
busy.
be able to see better than me, David. Is he looking at the phone or is he?
On and off.
It looks like he's moving. I don't know if that's.
The first shot, the one where he got a good shot, he was definitely thumbing something on his phone, and trying to steer. at
God,
the same
so
time.
close.
94th and Main Street, crossing Main, down 94th, continuing. Look at the damage there on the passenger side, and it almost makes you wonder whether that was there or whether he has done that. Most likely, I'm going to go out on a limb. This is purely a guess. Probably an impact that he made during the course of his pursuit, but for all I know, I mean, this was, again, that's not his vehicle, so we just don't know. But the driving that we've seen here, we've seen so many close calls. We just haven't made an actual visual of him actually coming in contact with any other vehicles, but he's continuing these random turns now in an entirely different neighborhood where in the Southwest Division of LAPD's jurisdiction, just to the west of the 110 freeway, Southeast Division, I should say, Southeast, pardon me. Still, though, no sign of any black and whites, but what you do see here is a lot of people crossing the road, going about their day without any anticipation of this guy flying down.
Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to move my tennis to 6 o'clock. Give us another 52 minutes of coverage here.
These residential neighborhoods, and at this point, you just hope he runs out of gas at this point.
We're all on edge, Chris, right? But I did want to ask you, so no black and whites tailing him, but what about the chopper? Is there a law enforcement chopper overhead?
Yeah, California Highway Patrol still has eyes on him. They are still calling out the location. And back at dispatch, there is back at the station, somebody is watching and ready to make that decision. You have multiple jurisdictions, though. You have California Highway Patrol. They're watching this very carefully. They have a helicopter over the pursuit over the.
Thank God we're on the brakes
you
there.
also have LA County Sheriff's Department with their own decision makers at the helm. They're watching it go through their jurisdiction. And then you have LAPD, who is watching this madman through the streets of Southeast LA in LAPD's jurisdiction. So you have any number of agencies here on top of some of the smaller ones that we've traveled through, like Inglewood just a moment ago, where anybody can make the decision to engage with the suspect, get units in the area, try and set up for a spike strip if they have the opportunity. There you see, he's rolled up that window. He's got the phone in his hand, the phone in his right hand, using his left hand to steer the vehicle, making wild, random turns, continuing as he goes over the double yellow lines here, a whole line of traffic on 92nd Street at a red light. And you can see traffic is starting to pick up here as he makes his way down, go the wrong way,
Wrong way again.
Folks pulling over to make way for this guy as he continues to speed through Southeast LA without anybody's safety in mind here. This is just so dangerous.
And traffic is only going to get worse. It's just a few minutes after 5 p.m. on a Friday. A lot more people will be hitting the roads in their cars on their commute home.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally he's found some empty roads, but overall, there's a lot of traffic out on this
Okay.
afternoon. You can
Unfortunately,
see
tennis has been canceled.
encountering that traffic.
So I'm here with you.
In this position, he's actually forced to stop. Look at him.
getting
Huh?
out.
Doors open.
Getting out, dumping the vehicle in the middle of the street.
Or she.
It's
It's a shit. What the heck?
jumping out of the vehicle with a backpack.
What the hell? Oh my god!
Nobody behind her. There's nobody behind her. She's just dumped that vehicle, a
What?
Kia Soul, in the middle of the road, and now she is just going for a jog.
We're just running for no reason. Look at that bow. She almost ate it. She almost fell face first into the concrete.
Easily.
Look at the lower back tattoo.
Hiding spot here, but she's just gonna jog up Compton
We're just running with the backpack.
sidewalk. We're gonna follow her each and every move here, but on foot.
Every chase is different.
To try and get some law enforcement in the area to get this woman.
Is that a jujitsu shirt? Is that a Gracie shirt?
She's a real danger to the community, and I sure hope we see this end, with an arrest here, because she's got to be taken off the road.
Absolutely.
And you would think that law enforcement is mobilized.
She has a head start, but not for long.
If we can see
Not for long.
enforcement shop-
What if a Doge comes out of nowhere?
They're very identifiable with the white pants and the jersey shirt or whatever that is, and then she's not gonna.
Oh, she's exhausted. We are huffing. We are puffing.
You can tell
We are not running anymore.
Ironic thing of this, the ironic
And there's
thing
no
that she
police in
thinks
sight.
she's just,
Oh, she trying to hitchhike?
She's hitchhiking.
No way.
stopped.
No.
a hitchhiking
Don't you
on
dare.
a carjacking?
Don't you dare.
Really?
She's trying to
This is
hitchhike.
unbelievable.
It's always something different.
This is out of control. I mean, what is she going to do? She has no idea how many eyes are on here. She's on her.
Hundreds of
She thinks
thousands.
She's going for a Friday afternoon
You stroll.
down Compton Avenue. She's about to be rudely awoken here if she continues. If she tries
Just blending in
to
plain sight.
hitchhike or carjack somebody, this is going to take a much different turn. Look at her.
Huh?
Stop
Oh, no.
traffic, trying to get a ride. Looking
She's
at
trying to get a ride.
She's trying to beg for a ride as she continues.
Why would she get out of the car?
Walking up Compton, this is unbelievable. This
Yeah,
is
this
just
is
incredible.
this might be a
God,
first
where are the
to
police,
see
man?
A pursuit suspect then get
This
out
is a
of the car
long
and
head
try to
start that
control.
she has.
Does she not hear the choppers?
Well, she's
Oh,
probably
she must.
yeah,
must.
multiple choppers and but you know. I'm so fascinated to see if
how
law
this
enforcement
ends.
decides.
Of course, she got out of the car right as I canceled my fucking tennis. This is the way I run.
Well, she's had plenty of opportunities to hide. She could easily.
These pursuit trees better get out of the way. Thank
She
you.
could hide. She's not making any attempt to hide. She's sticking with.
Highlights on the right side of the screen if you're just joining us. Somehow, oh, now we're picking up speed again.
She knows where she is, to be honest with you, but I could be wrong. But she's really looking.
And she just dumped the car. Maybe she was out of gas. Those Dodge Chargers guzzled gas pretty quickly. She's trying to hitchhike.
She's still continuing to try and wave down other motorists. It's not.
She got a second wind.
Forever, but there are
She'll get a second one. Ah, there's people watching.
And
They're watching her from the top of the building.
we're mere seconds or minutes away from somebody pulling up here.
Welcome to Los Angeles. And you're on every television in the metro area right now. Every single one.
Seeing signs that there are people watching this.
And there's might be a citizen's arrest. He's getting stalked.
Saw her going by and clearly, physically.
There's so many people that want to interject themselves into these chases.
This as well, knowing that she's coming their way. So this is
You've turned this into a cloud chase. She feels like she's getting stalked.
watching this pursuit.
Yeah, LAPD has units on the way. So LAPD Southeast units, I believe, are actually making their
Okay,
way
police
over
is
here.
actually en route for
It's
once.
taking forever, but they are aware of this. They
There
are
better be
watching
something
this on
really valuable in those
ABC,
bags if
and they are
you're
clearly
carrying those
aware
things to slow you
of
down.
movements, and they are trying to get units into position here as she continues to hustle towards 100th Street. She's got the phone still in her hand, a backpack and another bag as she starts to pick up the pace once again here down Compton Avenue. And again, not venturing into any private property. She's sticking with a public sidewalk, which tells me that she's not really making a big effort to hide. She's had plenty of opportunities to hide in a way that we would never find her and law enforcement would lose track of her. That's not the situation here. But what I am curious to see is
That little Doge.
starts to go viral on the internet. At what point do we start to see?
Huh? Oh, they got people on the street with their phones out.
There are already people that
Now they're there. They cut her off. They just forced her down that alleyway.
on the street there
All those people blocking off the sidewalk knows it's her.
through the neighborhood, and they know she's up to no good. So
But now she's on
this is
private
now
property.
public knowledge. I'm sorry, Joanna.
The whole city knows.
Property now.
She is now in an apartment. Yeah, she's in an apartment complex. Looks like park. Yeah, these are two apartment buildings. She's in between the two, and CHP with eyes on her here. We'll see if she
might have ducked in.
She might have walked into one of these parking garages.
Yeah.
No, she's definitely under there because the people are still watching her at the bottom of the road.
They lost her inside, in between these two apartment buildings.
She could have knocked on someone's door,
She might
right?
just be hanging out in the shade. That's a parking garage right there. So
Yeah.
she might be hanging in there.
Look at all these people.
Look at these people. See these people.
Look at all these people.
Yeah, they're all
And everybody is watching.
They're flagging her down. They're pointing inside. Just you just need the camera back here in case she pops out.
Vicinity, and they are now in a position. Now that she's on foot, they should be able to lock down this apartment complex, or at least this 1 square block. However, it's been at least 5 minutes. At least.
I can't believe we haven't seen a single
Maybe
officer
losing
yet.
track of time, maybe even more, and we still see no sign of LAPD. We know they're on the way, but right now, no sign.
Gosh, you really can get away with anything
This
here.
woman has more and more time to hide, whether she's just getting some shade or taking a rest, like you said, David. Good possibility there. She could just take a breather inside the carport undercover and wait this out.
She could be hiding under a car, and we don't know what the strategy is for law enforcement. They may know who she is. A lot we don't know yet.
Well, behavior alone, she's still a threat. She could be dangerous, and now she's hanging out in this property here. We don't know where she is or if she's trying to get into somebody's place. And there's a CHP helicopter.
Take a look inside that
Well, they know
CHP
where she
bird.
is. There's an approximation at least, and from that they could track her down. But to state the obvious, the good news is she jumped out of the car. That's when she was the most dangerous.
That's when she was
less
most
dangerous now.
Right, exactly right. I don't think they know who she is because for all of this pursuit, they've been referring to her as a he, and so I think they were just as surprised when she stepped out of the vehicle. This was a stolen vehicle, a stolen Kia Soul. Not sure where it was stolen, but her actions here. Well, you're right, David. I mean, she's really now that car is abandoned, she is not a threat, not as much of a threat, anyways, as she was earlier. And now there is a belief that she is indeed hiding out in that carport, likely the one on the right there, but I'm not sure. There's 2 buildings there with 2 separate carports.
Huh?
And she is somewhere.
What is going on? He's on a little scooter.
And it's possible that all of these pedestrians we're seeing are calling 911.
Is she up against the fence?
Know that she is at that property.
Wait, is this guy talking to somebody? I don't see anybody he's talking to.
Is she over there
Is it
hiding?
possible that somebody's over there?
Should be
He's talking to somebody.
He's talking to somebody.
He's talking to somebody.
for her.
Oh, maybe he's just
Yeah,
talking into
I'm
his
sorry.
phone while he's looking
Yeah.
for her.
Got it. Yeah, we're gonna
The
try
scooter
to get
patrol.
Side here, see who's on the other side of that fence. He was talking to somebody. I don't know if it's her, but he was talking to somebody near that dumpster. And who knows at this point if she's, I mean, it's just impossible to see.
Did you see the crazy lady? She over here?
Exactly where she is, but
I don't know. Someone might be living over there.
He appeared to be communicating with somebody behind that fence.
Yeah. Well, this has really been a fascinating pursuit. I mean, we took it with some...
Scoot.
Front of the building.
Front of the building.
All right, somebody's got eyes on her in the front of the building.
Is she coming back out? Get out of this double box.
Eyes on the suspect. She's apparently changed clothes.
Yeah,
She's changed clothes. Oh, same clothes. Sorry, I'm sorry. Same clothes. She's in the same. I'm sorry. I'm getting conflicting information. She's in the same clothes now.
Where is she?
And
Where is she?
Catch a glimpse of her here on the front of the building.
Oh, look at him flagging him down.
Crowd that's starting
Oh,
to
big
get out of
doge.
here. There's somebody with their phone out.
That's not her.
She's in a doorway.
Are they pointing at something?
Everyone's running and pointing.
At her, but
Or are they trying to
The
get
whole building is ratting her out. Yeah.
no sign of any law enforcement here. I just have to reiterate what we're watching here.
Isn't this crazy? There's no cops anywhere.
10 minutes now, where there is no sign of law enforcement. We heard that LAPD Southeast units were on the way out.
Wait, there's a car coming out.
Frankly, guys, I can't tell you I'd be surprised if they just abandoned this. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they are very quick to let these go. If there's not an immediate danger to the public, and they don't feel like it's what they have. We don't know that, but they have other business. They have other calls coming in, 911, ringing off the hook left and right. if a woman who's no longer in that stolen vehicle is just walking around South LA, it becomes.
Oh, there's a unit.
Here they come. Here they come. LAPD Southeast units. I'm sorry, CHP, Highway Patrol and LAPD.
God, they got both jurisdictions.
CHP, two separate black and whites, now pulling up to this apartment building. And if they can get eyes on her, they'll be in a better position here. Otherwise, they're going to need more units to lock down this area and try and corner her. But at least there are units here. CHP and LAPD both responding out here to the end of this pursuit.
But look at how casually everyone else is walking around. That makes me a little nervous.
Get out of the way, Gil.
They can help direct them to where they think she is. I just kind of, I kind of think that she still should be seen as a threat, because when it comes to her behavior during the driving, and also, and who knows what her mental state is, and if she's now trying to hang out in somebody's private property, trying to hide out, that could be tricky. So he's going to go.
We're running.
So he's moving a little quicker. Maybe he sees something. Maybe he doesn't. He's definitely spoken to a few witnesses down there, and now you see that CHP officer heading back down that alleyway in the same direction that we were trying to find her earlier. So somewhere in
This is LA, man. People are inside watching the news. It's near your area. You come outside, you see her on the street, got your phone out, starts creating a commotion. Then more people start coming into the street to figure out what's going on, and it just spreads. It is contagious.
back out to the street if he finds her. But yeah, you can see the crowd.
This
here.
is LA.
Everybody over here seems to be well aware of who she is, just based on what they're seeing on their phones and online.
Yeah. I'm just so curious to see where she is, or if she actually was able to get into somebody's home from underneath there.
Probably trying to steal another
And there's
Dodge
probably
Charger.
a lot of places that she could be hiding as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hiding spots here. She is on private property, so, you know, she is trespassing. But again, when we talk about those petty crimes, was that the officer?
Yeah, it looked like he was looking around the back of the other
He's
building.
looking around. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of, you know, when you
Still haven't found her yet, by the way.
Traffic infractions and the trespassing charge, I mean, these are all relatively petty misdemeanors relative to the actual theft of the automobile. But other than that, guys, you know, it's going to be probably a mental health situation at the end of the day. But right now, you can see there's an LAPD officer in front, a CHP officer in the back. They are trying to track her down.
Could very well be inside.
It
Yeah.
takes a while, so I don't know if there are other units showing up, or if it's going to be left to these two officers to kind of assess and get out. But I hope everybody in that apartment building can at least assess their own property.
How did she
so
get
they
in?
know that she's not intruding on them, because there's law enforcement right there that can help out if she is.
All right, so I'm being told that CHP may have her. The officer, the CHP officer who was walking through there may have her. Whether he has the right person is yet to be, yet to be seen here. No, there he is. He's coming back out empty-handed here. So
He does not have her. Where'd she go?
possibly had somebody in custody, but now you can see him coming around the building here, talking into his radio. He's got his hand.
He's going in.
And still trying to find her. Now, perhaps, possibly inside this.
There's more CHP officers,
CHP officers
and they're all running.
there now. Private security, LAPD, CHP, all walking through that doorway. Maybe they have eyes on her, but we did have a report just a few seconds ago that CHP possibly had somebody.
That's a big Doge.
Okay, so this is coming close. I guess it's reassuring to see that they are quickly moving, so that it looks like that they at least know an approximation of where she might be. Somebody might have told them where she is, and then so they're quickly running to where that is. Hopefully they'll get her.
More units.
LAPD units pulling in here. You can see them continuing. Yeah, backup now arriving, going through that doorway. Again, I want to just kind of caution. Even though we have a report that somebody's in custody, many of these situations sometimes end up with a mistaken identity.
No, we've seen that. Remember the liquor store when they sent the fur missile on the wrong guy?
We do. We've been watching her for the last, however many minutes, so we know exactly what she looks like. But those
Yeah, we won't forget that lower back tattoo anytime soon.
Maybe rounding up some people who they have, a suspicion of, but not positive identity. So we'll see. They may have somebody in custody. We'll see if it's the right woman, presumably inside the building, as we've seen now a number of officers walk through that doorway.
Yeah, and perhaps the local security guard, I think you mentioned there was local security there, maybe they...
It looked like a private, yeah, there was somebody in a white shirt, that looked like private security. We know we saw LAPD go in there and several CHP officers, so I'm getting more...
Someone in the chat said I can fix her.
Now somebody is in custody.
Someone's in custody. We're not code 4 because we have to see what it looks like first. We got to see the suspect.
Is being taken into custody as we speak.
And obviously authorities don't believe that she's dangerous, maybe that she's not armed because...
Liquor Store 1 was my first watch, says Jenny B in the chat. That was mistaken identity to a T. We got to see who comes out that door.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. I think, they want to keep the crowd back for sure. They obviously have a better idea now. They're focusing on that doorway. So inside, I'm sure they are keeping people away. We don't see that crime scene being established just yet. But at the end of the day, again, they're gonna, if they do indeed find her, it won't exactly be a large crime scene. They will take her into custody and figure out what the situation is. But they are calling in for backup. There is a little bit of crowd control. They want to keep people back just in case things go sideways. Absolutely, Giovanna. But it does appear from everything we're hearing that somebody is being taken into custody, and now you can see that LAPD...
They're a lot calmer.
...in a much more relaxed stance in front of the building, and some more residents coming out.
That's not her. Stop saying it, news.
You have a number of helicopters overhead, a number of law enforcement vehicles.
There's so much fake news.
And so any second now, I think we'll have our answer, but it does indeed seem like...
There's no guarantee of that.
They do indeed have it.
All right, so we're debating on whether to stay with this. And
stay with it! 100,000 people concurring in your YouTube channel.
Here comes some more officers.
Are you still with me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, we're getting some more information from our assignment desk that they are giving the code 4. So the suspect is in custody. They are on the second floor of that apartment building.
Interesting.
But they are calling for an ambulance. Okay. So the condition of that suspect is now very much in question. What happened on that second floor, again, very much in question, as the suspect appears to require immediate medical attention. They are waiting for that ambulance now. That explains the delay.
Not great.
But units are now converging on the second floor of that building right there. But they do have confirmation that that pursuit suspect is indeed in custody.
No clue what happened, but suspect is no bueno.
So some unanswered questions. Maybe she penetrated somebody's apartment, but we'll find out. As we
might have fucked around and found out.
Move on to another part of the newscast. Chris,
we'll wait to hear a word from ABC7. They'll surely follow up with the story later tonight.
We'll check back with you in just a moment. Other news now, one day
Wow.
after federal prosecutors announced the...
Okay, so we're going to have to wait for updates on exactly what happened to this person. But for now, this chase is code 4. Drop your 4s in the chat if you haven't already. Okay, I'm going to see if I could squeeze in 30 minutes of tennis. Code 4, Scooter Guy. Yes, shout out to Scooter Guy, by the way. Shout out to Scooter Guy, who was out there doing recon for the residents of this building. Told Kate, let's see. I'm waiting on my tennis partner to respond to me. KTLA's Gil might still be covering it overhead. Let's find out. Another great show. I can't believe we got through that one without a wreck.
With her thumb up trying to hitch a ride, nobody stopped. She continued to walk and then decided at some point she was going to turn off the road and disappear into this apartment building, which she did, and we have yet to see her come out. Law enforcement, we're in understanding that they have her in custody on the second floor, but again, we have not seen that yet. Obviously, people milling about and gathering may well have been the intelligence that law enforcement needed to find her. So many people in the area, a stranger walking into the area, you're going to notice something that's up. Law enforcement walked up and began asking questions, and within 60 seconds, they had a bead on where she might be. So, again, eyes and ears of the community. In this case, it appears paying off. Gil.
Absolutely. Now we're hearing that she may be injured. The injury may have happened either during the pursuit or prior to the pursuit. We were hearing that they're calling for paramedics to respond here, so that's probably the reason why they're delaying bringing her out of the building right now. But definitely taken into custody on the second floor and suffered some sort of injury. It's unclear where and when or what exactly what the injury was. It looked like she was doing okay walking down the street, but apparently she had some sort of injury at some point.
All right, we're going to continue to track this. The suspect, though, in custody here in the Westmont area of Los Angeles after a stolen car pursuit. Gil Levis, thank you. Now to Tarzan, where beloved comedian Perry Kurtz was the victim of a deadly hit-and-run crash.
So,
it happened just...
KTLA's coverage is over as well. Sounds like they were injured. Out of breath from all that running. Fell through the ceiling. All right, people. I think that's it for this episode. I don't think there's any helicopters still overhead. Nope, NBC went away from the coverage. All right. As always, thank you guys for joining the show. Birdsintheair.com for your merchandise, at Skywob Alerts. On Twitter if you'd like to be notified of any chases that occur in the next 4 hours. Other than that, turn your notifications on here on Twitch, and I will see you guys on the timeline.